My question is to Dr. Ayesha Siddiqa. Means, in your speech, one thing I saw is the modernity, what really started a new thing, that what Americans expect from Pakistan and what Pakistan is doing. And when you are talking, it means you bring the General Ziaul, General Ayub Khan, and the General Musharraf. Say modern people. I do not understand that. The General Ziaul, how he came and become a modern on that respect. Who started the all madrasas and who organized all this thing and who created this religious tension. Number two, what I saw is in your speech, the only person you attack is Asif Zardari. And in fact, Asif Zardari means People's Party. Now, the one thing you said that the Western media is saying Oxford graduate or Oxford educated, famously Bhutto or somebody. Western media also mentioning that her government was dismissed twice on the charges of corruption. Not a single time a Western media or Pakistani media mentioned that each time she was majority elected party. And still even after her death, that is the majority party. So I don't know how you expect a democracy in Pakistan, that whether the majority party should rule that or minority party rule that. So I do not understand. Will you please explain that?
So as I understand, the question is that how does democracy will function in Pakistan?
Well, that is not the question.
Very long question.
So your question about what I was saying about Ziaul Haq. Look, I was trying to explain. I'm sorry, it's probably my very bad English that I didn't manage to explain. You couldn't understand what I was saying. See, what I was saying is that traditionally, in 60 years, the United States has defined modernity in a certain way. And all those institutions which carry out its objective, its strategic purpose, are considered modern. And Ziaul Haq was doing the task because it's a rentier, we are a rentier state because our military is mercenary. We were carrying out an objective of the US military, which was fighting communism. And if you had listened carefully, I said that was a time in which the madrasas were opened up. In fact, madrasas have always been there, the numbers proliferated. And there have been reports after reports which pointed out reports of the governments, not of NGOs, which pointed out that most of these madrasas were fanning religious and sectarian hatred. And yet they were kept because they were part of the project to protect or to serve American security interests. Because there was nobody else who could have gone and fought the war in Afghanistan other than those militants and jihadis. So the point I was trying to make and presenting Zia as a modernist was in a very cynical manner. That was how it was explained in the corridors of Pentagon, not as I understand it, not as it's understood in Pakistan. Secondly, again, your comment about my comment on Afghanistan. Again, if you had heard me correctly, what I said was I was quoting Begum Dr. Mehboob ul-Haq, who had said that she would tolerate a military dictator than Asif Zardari. And my response to her was, even if I don't like his face, I'd rather have him than a military dictator. So please.
Yes.
I think I should ask a few points. I have a question to David related to, see, yesterday I was watching watching Hillary Clinton speaking about that she's going to bring change in the process and she's going to be the president of the people. But the real fact is, as far as I know, in the fundraiser, you have to pay $5,000 to be within 10 feet of her, $500 to be within 100 feet of her. And I'm telling you, this American politics as I see it as an Indian is full of broker, nothing else. Now tell me, it's a broker, simple. And when you listen to the TV, they're talking about the common people. Now talk about Obama, he's speaking about the change. Fact is, he has raised maximum amount of money from these groups. Now how this democracy can be changed? I mean, I can tell you that at least in India, I've seen common people's voice are being heard. In the United States, the way I see it, common people's voice can never be heard. Because there is too much of broker between politicians and common people. I can tell you, I have met a lot of ministers and a lot of MPs where you can go to them directly, talk to them. Here, even to meet the senator and congressman, in many cases you have to pay. So how this democratic process can be changed? And David pointed out, so I'm saying, don't blame the uncles and tell me what the common people should do to change this politics.
Well, I think you've identified a fundamental problem of American politics, and that it is completely awash with corporate money. And citizens have been largely marginalized. We are to pay taxes, fight in their wars, march in their parades, and salute the flag, and sing their anthems. That's how they view the citizenry. I'd like to think of the United States, a country of 300 million people, with a much more active and robust democracy, where we really have two political parties, not two representatives of corporate power, with some slight differences between the two. So there's an awful lot of work to be done here in the United States, and people are working on these particular issues. I don't agree with all of your analysis about India, incidentally, where about 1/3 of the country is in open revolt against the government in Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand, in Assam, in Bihar, in Madhya Pradesh, in Andhra Pradesh, in Maharashtra. There's a huge upsurge, and it's not, and there, you know what the Indians are doing? They're very clever. The same thing they did with Kashmir, terrorists. They know the discourse. What will play in the United States? They are terrorists. In many instances, these are farmers who have lost their land, having been confiscated by the central government. They're creating special economic zones. Well, that sounds wonderful. Special economic zones. What does it mean? It means tax-free write-offs for large industries, including Tata, Reliance, and other Indian groups, as well as outside foreign people who are coming in, corporations who are coming in, who want to exploit India's resources, particularly metals, which happen to be, coincidentally, mostly on land owned by Adivasis and by Dalits, the two most marginalized groups within the Indian political structure, who have, with some exceptions, very little representation. And so there's a huge struggle now going on in India, and they are playing the struggle for Washington as much as they are playing it for themselves. This is a fight against terrorism. And it's not. It's a fight against globalization. It's a fight against inequality. It's a fight against the hijacking of resources by the state in collusion with corporations. So, I mean, neither country is in Eden, clearly. There's a lot of work to be done here in the United States, and there's a lot of work to be done in India as well.